Purchasing a home is a major investment, and it's important to approach that process carefully to make sure you are making the right decisions. And we have Justin Kolling, the forever agent and realtor at Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Premier Properties, to give us some tips and some steps to follow when making one of the biggest purchases of your life. Good morning, Justin.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, good to have you here. This is conversations that people are having at dinner tables around the area. So what are some of the first steps that people interested in buying a home should be taking to make it a reality?
You're going to hear it over and over and over again. Get pre-approved first and foremost. You know, you want to figure out what your budget is before you even start looking at houses, because you don't want to be looking at houses that, well, ultimately you can't afford. You know, and that'd be frustrating. I love this house, talk to a bank, sorry, can't afford it. So, you know, so that's number one, and we beat that into people's heads all the time. You hear that everywhere you go. Well, obviously that's important. Well, one thing that I really like to do is I like to have a buyer meeting at my office, so then we can go through, you and me, the whole process of buying a house ahead of time, because the more educated you are walking into a house, learning about how to read like the MLS, what contingencies are, just different, all the little things that go into purchasing a house. Well, then you can actually look through the house and not be thinking about, well, I want to purchase this house. So you have the steps down ahead of time.
And there's a lot more paperwork and background work involved in the process than a lot of people realize.
Yeah, it's not a HGTV like, okay, let's look at 3 houses and let's pick the best 3. That doesn't work that way.
Yeah, fun to watch on TV, not necessarily reality here. And so with going through this process, why is choosing a trusted real estate professional so important to go through the process?
Yeah, I mean, we're in the industry every single day. So we're seeing the market trends, we're seeing new listings coming up. You know, creating that team too, working with a lender, a title company, everything, we can take care of that. So being prepared ahead of time, and you know, we see houses, so when we're walking through it, the customer's kind of like, ooh, this is pretty. Well, I'm looking at different things. I'm looking at like material defects. Is a foundation crumble? You know, things like that. So I can keep that eye out, so it's not like the pretty stone countertop is throwing off everything. So yeah, working with an agent that's been in the industry, it really helps, you know, get ahead of time.
Know what's important that people need to think about when making this big decision. And so people go through the process, they find their dream home where they want to start a family or expand or what have you. What should they be expecting in that process, and once they say, yep, I want to call this place home?
Yeah, that's the fun part. You know, it gets kind of stressful, but when you identify the house that you want to get, I tell people, if this is the house that is truly yours, let's go get it, okay? It's a crazy market, and you know, I tell people, okay, you look at $10,000 difference in a purchase price, it's a big number, $10,000, right? Well, over 30 years, that's about $70 difference on a monthly payment. So if you can kind of put that in perspective, like, hey, let's go get this house if this is truly the house you're looking for.
And another thing that people might not realize, there's still snow on the ground, but it might now be a good time to start looking for your home if you want to move in by the summer.
Yes, I mean, it usually takes, unless you're a cash deal, you know, cash buyer, it's going to take 45 to 60 days. So you got to kind of put that out. I mean, if you put an offer in today and got it accepted, we're probably not closing until what, May, June sometimes. So yeah, making sure you got your ducks in a row so when you're ready to go, you can get into that house in time.
And as you said, that's if you put the offer in today and get approved. And you mentioned before all the pre-work that needs to go into that.
Exactly. Yep. Taking the time ahead of time is so important, because then you're ready to go.
Yes, it really is. Preparation always takes the cake in these sorts of situations. So if someone says, you know what, yeah, I want to be in my house by the beginning of summer, midsummer, whatever it is, and enjoy those months there, how can people get in contact with you and start that process?
Yeah, reach out to me with my cell phone, 701-200-1431, or you can find me at my website, kollingproperties.com.
And if anyone is on the fence about, I don't know if I should be buying a house right now, maybe I should wait, what advice do you have for them?
I would say, let's meet. Let's see what your goals are, what you want out of, you know, a timeline, and let's go talk with a lender. Let's just see what you think you can afford. I mean, just because you get pre-approved now doesn't mean that you have to buy a house today. We can just get an idea of where you're at with your monthly payments and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, reach out to someone that you trust, like Justin here. Thank you so much for joining us. Coming up here on today's show, we are going to have your daily dose of motivation. Stick around.